Just a rebel with a lightsaber dream. Lost my hand, lost my friend, lost my self-esteem.
Hello there, and welcome back to the channel. I know. The title of the video, the thumbnail, it all gave it away. We're talking about things that I don't like within the prequel trilogy.
What?
If you guys watched my Finding Good Things about the sequel trilogy videos, you guys knew this was coming. Next is the original trilogy. And honestly, if that video is anything like this video, it's gonna be very hard because I kind of had to reach for the stars for this one because I could not really think of some things that I didn't like. Is there things that I wish would have been done differently or kept in or added? Yes, absolutely. Do the things that I not like about these movies take away from the fact that these are, in my opinion, the far superior Star Wars movies? No, absolutely not. I mean, for fuck's sakes, one of my favorite movies ever is Clerks, and there's a lot of problems with that movie. But, lo and behold, here we are. Let's get into it. Things I don't like about the prequel trilogy. So first up for the Phantom Menace, honestly, the only thing that I can really say bad about this movie that I don't like, aside from a couple line deliveries, is the pacing. The pacing of this movie really fluctuates. Sometimes I watch it and the movie flies by. And other times it feels like it takes me fucking 4 hours to get through a 2 hour and 20-minute movie. Now, yes, is there different parts of the movie with like random exposition lines? Yes. Am I a big fan of them? No. The worst one I think in the entire movie is the Qui-Gon, sir. I heard Yoda talking and I was wondering, what are midichlorians? It's just, it comes out of left field. You know, like I don't know, man. I've never written a movie, so maybe that was the right way to go about it. Maybe it's the wrong way to go about it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, so honestly, aside from a couple line deliveries, random exposition lines, and the pacing of the movie, I have no other problems with Phantom Menace. Yeah, I can't think of anything that I don't like about the Phantom Menace. I mean, maybe I could add in the fact that we don't really get to know Maul's backstory. You kind of have to read the comics, read the EU, read the canon books. You got to watch the Clone Wars series and you'll get filled in about Maul. But yeah, I guess that's another thing I can add. Well, that's kind of all of Star Wars, is a lot of it is filled in with books and comics and other multimedia projects. That's a video for another day. But yeah, those are honestly just a couple of things I don't like about the Phantom Menace. So there you go. Now, Attack of the Clones is where I really start to kind of form my problems with the prequel trilogy. First off, we got a 13-year time jump and nothing on Anakin's training since he became a Jedi. Oh, but Swootsky, go read the multimedia Clone Wars project, or go read the Anakin's training multimedia project. Like, bro, you're telling me in all the years that Star Wars has been around, at this point in time, almost 50 years, not once did we get a series or a movie on Anakin's training? Okay, I'm gonna add in the Cosmonaut Variety Hours rendition of Palpatine's plan, or Newt Gunray's plan. Whoever's fucking plan it was to send a person, to send a thing, to send a bug, to send a shit. We're gonna add that shits and giggles clip.
Palpatine sends a man, who sends a man, who sends a shapeshifter, who sends a robot, who sends bugs, so don't kill Padme.
Another thing I don't like about this movie is some of the CGI does not hold up. Now, does it look great for its time? Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, there's a couple shots where it looks like it was taken straight out of a PS2 cutscene. I think we all know which one I'm talking about. Speaking of CGI, should have mentioned this in the Phantom Menace segment of the video, but that's mainly just the re-release. I do not like CGI Yoda. Yeah, we know, Swoonsky. You don't like CGI Yoda, you like puppet Yoda, you think he's superior. It's true. It's true. I don't need to see Yoda flipping around with a lightsaber at all. And speaking of flipping around with a lightsaber, that ending battle between Dooku and Anakin and Dooku and Yoda, oh my god, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I mean, It's better than Palpatine versus Yoda, but the whole thing where Anakin and Dooku are swinging their lightsabers instead of actually sword fighting, a little weird. I don't like it. So, yeah, let's move on to the next one. Now, I know. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. It is the best Star Wars movie of all time. Even though Empire Strikes Back is the best movie of all time ever made, period. Revenge of the Sith is very, very close and very near and dear to my heart. Is there issues with this movie? Absolutely. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I love this movie. So let's go ahead and get into my problems about it. The biggest thing I don't like about this movie is we do not see the invasion of Coruscant. We do not see General Grievous capture Palpatine at all on screen. Unless you watch the 2003 Clone Wars micro series. Then you get to see it, but that's sadly not canon. It doesn't matter. It's not canon. And in Mr. Filoni's beloved 08 Clone Wars, that doesn't show it either. Whatsoever. I would like to see General Grievous try to capture, not even try, I would love to see General Grievous capture Palpatine in live action, and then we have to see the Jedi Council call Anakin and Obi-Wan back into action. Yes, we got to see some of it in the Clone Wars 08, but we don't get to see it. We don't. That's the biggest thing I don't like about this movie. Another thing I don't like about this movie that honestly can go for Attack of the Clones too. I don't like the fact that Order 66 on the Jedi Temple gets cut. Not a big fan of the Tusken Raiders getting cut. And I kind of understand there's already so much going on in these movies, with the runtime being as long as they are, with trying to keep them for kids, but also entice adults and young adults and everybody else of all ages, because Star Wars is made for 12-year-olds, but it applies to everybody. That is the full George Lucas quote. So yes, it is for kids, but it applies for everybody. So I understand that they needed to keep it well within like the rating system. I think all the movies except for Revenge of the Sith are PG. I could be wrong. Yeah, I just feel like if they would have included the Tuskens and the Order 66 scenes on the temple with the Jedi and Anakin, I feel like that would have really sold people back in the day on Anakin's turn to the dark side. Because that's another thing that I don't like is Anakin's turn to the dark side just feels too quick for me. Specifically for 5-year-old me. Because when I was a kid, you know, I wasn't understanding the fact that he was trying to save his wife like that. I knew that that was the main goal, but I didn't understand why he must stand trial. What have I done? And then, I will do what I must. I will do whatever you ask. 5-year-old me was a little bit confused. I understand it now after multiple rewatches and diving into the novelization. Yeah, even my girlfriend kind of asked me like, hey, why is he turning to the dark side so fast? And that was our first time watching Revenge of the Sith too. But she kind of got it, but she had to have me fill her in on the rest of the story. So there's that. And the final thing that I will talk about, because I'm not going to talk about Kenobi in this movie. We all know how I feel about Kenobi. Spoiler, he didn't try to save Anakin whatsoever. But that's okay. The last thing that I do not like in this movie is Vader screaming no. It also goes for Return of the Jedi. Not the biggest fan of it. I don't think that we needed that. I think silence speaks more volume sometimes. Because you got that scene with Anakin and Padme looking across Coruscant through the different buildings. All you have is the music, the silence. You feel their emotion. You feel the tension. Everything is about to go to shit. And there's not a single line of dialogue. But anyway, that does it for this video of things that I do not like about the prequel trilogy. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know how blasphemous am I down in the comments. And stay tuned for the things that I don't like about the original trilogy. May the Force be with you always. Peace.